What are you doing online? Well, I've been thinking a bunch about working on this hiking video game idea that I've had. And I thought, well, I'm not going to get it done unless I get something done. This is just a short little fun thing. Looks like you just woke up. I've been up for a while. I went outside, went for a long walk in the freezing cold. My beard froze. Morning, Kookie. Lionheart. Courtney. Lionheart just got up. So all we're doing, I've always wanted to create a video game. And I've always wanted to create it based off of an Appalachian Trail hike. That's what I've always wanted to do. But I had this idea that I would do it based off of the Oregon Trail. And then I played Oregon Trail, and did some research and stuff. And I just don't think it's not the kind of video game that I want to make. I don't care to make a text-based. I want to make a side-scrolling, jumping Mario, Mega Man, Zelda shooter, or not like action RPG, which is not the Appalachian Trail. But then I've been thinking more and more about it, and I think it can be. It's just it's not going to be realistic because hiking is not playing video games, but I want to be playing video games. So I want to have a little character that can run around and jump and hit things with its trekking pole and stomp on things like Mario and squish them. That's the way that I'm leaning right now. Went to Tim Hortons. Oh yeah. Concord grape water. That sounds weird. So, anytime I'm not going to work on it during. I'm not going to work on it during like normal live stream time, but any other time. So, I'm just going to call it. Between the Blazes, because that's the name of my business, my hiking business, and why not have a game based directly off of that? So the project is Between the Blazes. And this is a brand new game. This is a brand new project. We'll start from here and just see. Yeah, Between the Blazes. Morning, Frosted Pears. Like I said, I'm not going to work on it during our normal like retro streaming during the week, but anytime I come out here to sit down and work on this, I'm going to go live just because of whatever. It's just going to be us hanging out. Good morning, Rockin' Returns. So... Other than, there's so much to think about. I don't know exactly where to start, but I want to see a character moving around on the screen. So that's where I want to begin. We're going to have a character. He can move around on the screen and jump up and down. I think the physics of the game need to be good. They need to feel good. He needs to move well. And we're going to work on that at the beginning. Scourgebane, Merry Christmas. So we need a sprite for I guess this is just going to be hiker. The character looks good. Yeah, so what I did was I actually found this character. This is just a sprite that someone had. I found it online. It was free. Free to use sprites. It looks pretty good. I tend to think in video games, I like the bigger cartoony head. So, and it also allowed me to kind of give a little more detail in the face. We can work some facial expressions for different things. When he gets tired, you know, if he gets tired and he's walking, we can do like that. You know, you can add a little bit to things by giving yourself just a little bit more to work with. I want it to still be very pixelated and very simple. I'm not an artist, so I feel like the more pixels I give myself, the worse it's going to be. So I want to keep things small. This is a pretty darn small scale. We're working on 32 by 32. Oops. Yeah, 32 by 32. He'd fit in a 24 by 32, but this is what we're going to give ourselves. All of our actions will be able to take place inside of this small. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. So I've just taken this sprite and I've made the head bigger. Kept the body the same. I think we can do anything that we want with this size. And we can tweak the pack out. I've actually considered how much detail I want to go into with the game. One of the game mechanics that I want to have is, all right, I'm smashing games that I like. Mega Man style. We're playing right now, Mega Man style structure. On the Appalachian Trail, you hike through 14 states. So there's 14 levels, which I think is pretty easy. You can choose section hike, which means you get to do all of the levels in any order that you want. You can do through hike, which is the idea. You start at the bottom and you work all your way up through. Did you finish Mega Man? Nope, not yet. Not yet. We'll be back to Mega Man on Monday. So like the base of the game can be similar to that. I want it to have Mario style platforming, jumping on enemies and stuff, but also incorporate items like Zelda games. So you get different items from different that do different things. Only to increase it a little bit, I want the items to be Diablo dungeon crawler. You never know what boots you're going to have and what the boots will affect your character. You'll be constantly stomping on squirrels and boots and shit will pop out of them. And you're like, oh, fucking new boots. And you pick them up and you can compare them to your boots. And these boots weigh a little bit more, but do this and do that, which affects the way that your character moves throughout the game.
Game dev stream hype.
Yeah, that's what it is. And we're going to do these periodically as I have some more time. I only have like an hour today. We've got a family thing to go to. But be prepared. If I get excited about this, be prepared for these streams to pop up all of the time. It may be 1 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. I'll come out here and I'll go live and I'll start working on this. Lionheart, this is exactly that. It's like being a kid and saying, oh, what if I could make a video game? We're going to do it together. We're going to make a video game. That's the goal. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never wanted to do it during the live stream where we actually do retro mornings. And in this case, I don't have to. But there will be no structure to when. You'll never know. I can post the videos at the end and stuff, but So this gives us a good basis to go off of. At this point, your character will never change. He is not your character. He's me, I guess. You know, it's me hiking the trail or something to that degree. I do want to, and maybe I should think about this now. How important do you guys think it is if we do Diablo style picking up items? So it's like you got a new pair of boots and it's got this. Should it change your character's appearance? Because I do want to have a screen. Let me do oh, I want old Diablo. Yeah. So I want to use this. There we go. So this is similar to what I want to do with having a pack and then having different things that you can do. So very similar to what we would have used in in the Diablo game. But in Diablo, when you changed your clothes, it had a visual representation of that change. I don't know if we're going to do that. Mega Man never changes. Doesn't matter what weapon he changes color though. He does. And if we do have him change, so his shirt color can change, his boot color can change. If we're doing that, I wonder what that would be like if we did something simple for boots. Like, isn't there a better way to look at this? Would you look at it? Yeah, even that detail works nice. Even just adding that little bit. So when you're switching boots in this game, it's not going to change much in the color. But just a little bit. Oops. And it's just that bottom color and the top color. Now, the thing that I wonder is, oh, that doesn't even make sense there. We should do this. Let's do this first. Excuse me. Tommy, you're making a huge assumption that I'm actually wearing pants. All right, let's go back. So this would be hiker, walk. Okay. So we've got that. Let's do a test room. So now we have a room that's for testing, and we need an object. That's player. We'll give them a walk sprite. Actually, he doesn't need to do anything. Let's test our game. There is. So let's get an idea of the view that we want to use in this game. I believe that you can use views. View 1, enable the use of views. We want that. Visible when room starts. Follow object player. View in room. So it's the whole thing. This needs to be the size. So what if we did it like 200 pixels? Maybe like 300 by 200. I thought I missed work for a second and then realized it was actually Sunday. There we go. Why does it seem a bit blurry? Yeah, he just walks. Slack on Sunday, let's go. Yeah, for a little bit. We're just talking about game, building the hiking game. Could be that. I haven't had any beers. Not yet. No, it's a scaling thing, I believe. It's the way this is being scaled. And I'm not sure exactly how to... port on screen. like, I want it to go full screen. You know what I mean? Yeah, Lionheart, this is a perfect, it's like right now, it's producing, and maybe it's not blurry, it just looks that way because he's, like Lionheart's saying, because he's moving. Well, here, let's do this. So I want that to be full screen. What is the 1920? Maybe it's because I need to scale it right. How wide did I make it? Test. Views. Maybe it needs to be a square room. It's blurry because you haven't had enough. It could be. I don't know what you're talking about, Joker. See, we can see the view, like, but there's this. Oh, that's just what we're seeing of the background. And this is view 1, which is showing us that. Let's do this. Let's take the object. You know what I should do, though? I should not be making this in Game Maker. I should be making this in the new Game Maker. Yeah, I need to be... Swan Song Game says, what engine is this? Game Maker. Yeah, I should be making it in the new Game Maker. Which I do believe is free now. Before we get into this, so I've always worked in 1.4, but I believe that this game needs to be taken to phones. Are you scaling up your sprite in Game Maker? I'm not even scaling the sprite, Joker. I was just using a view to make everything. I was just changing the size of the window.
Generic
What's up, Generic?
commenter.
It's Sunday. Get off the internet. What's up, Generic? I was off the internet today. I went for a long walk in the forest. It's probably too much to learn to switch to Unity rather than Game Maker. No, I did a bunch of that multi-bot stuff in Unity. I probably could go Unity. I don't know if I want to though. I don't mind Game Maker, and I don't see it having a limitation that stops me. So what kind of game are you planning? So, I've always enjoyed playing retro games. I play it. That's my career, is retro video games. And I've always wanted to make one. For lack of concept, it's like, well, what game do you make? Well, the other things that I like to do is I'm a huge hiker, and I did a through hike of the Appalachian Trail, and I always thought it would be fun to use that concept as it was a great adventure towards a video game. Never putting much more thought into it than how it could be fun. And then lately I was thinking about, well, what if I did a Oregon Trail style game, decision-making, text, Oregon Trail.
That's the Pine Song, baby.
What's up, Lemon? And make the Appalachian Trail. Well, I actually did some research the last couple days. People have tried that. And I think the main downfall is it's just not that fun to play. It's fun, but it's not the fun. What I like about video games is different than other people, but if I'm going to spend time making it, I want it to be the things that I like. And some of my favorite games are Zelda games. So I wanted to have some of that, getting different weapons and different items that allow you to do different things in exploring. So Zelda is going to have an influence on it. Platforming. I'm playing Mega Man now. Mega Man, like platforming, but also in a through hike of the Appalachian Trail, you hike through 14 states. Each level is a state. And like Mega Man, you can choose whichever one you want, and then, or you can play them all the way through. So when you're hiking the AT, you can section hike. You choose to hike a section of them, or you can do a through hike. So there'd be two play modes. There's section hiking where you can do Mega Man style, pick any level you want, or you do a through hike. Now, the reason for it is I think that your character will level up as you play. So you can just continuously play the levels that you like to try to build your character up to do a through hike. So 2D platformer with different power-ups. Yeah, 2D platformer, level-based, different power-ups. The one thing that would be different that you're not going to find on a lot of platformers is I wanted to have an inventory style similar to your dungeon crawler, similar to like Diablo. I want you to be able to pick up a pair of boots, and that pair of boots is a pair of boots that you've never seen before. It could have very slightly different weight, because in hiking, everything weighs something, and it's very important to be conscious of the weight of things. So your items, you may be able to pick up a pair of boots that's the same that you have, but it's 3 ounces less. So you're going to want to get rid of those ones and switch to the new ones, because your overall weight is going to affect how fast you move, how quickly you get fatigued, things like that. So I want that hiking to be in there, but it's more of the back side of the game. When you're just playing and jumping around, it's going to be your platformer. Feeling unashamed, are you, Lemon? Are more standard these days. They have pretty big model/sprite libraries for support for more platforms. So J Games, and that's kind of the fun thing about the Appalachian Trail is there's a lot of stuff that kind of lends itself to. There's something that we refer to on the AT as trail magic. When something happens that's out of the ordinary or extraordinary that helps you out in a way. Sometimes people go to the trail and leave coolers of food, and then you just run into them. There's trail magic. So there's a term called trail magic. I think that you should learn trail magic along the way. It's fantasy. You learn the fire magic and it allows you to throw friggin' fireballs. Maybe you'll learn things from bosses. Maybe bosses like Diablo drop better loot. I want it to have replay ability. I'm thinking that you have... There's a lot to get into. There's a lot to unpack in what I'm thinking, but the game you're describing kind of reminds me of Terraria. Artworld, the one difference would be is I don't think there's going to be a lot of affecting the environment. So there's not going to be crafting or building in any way like that. More straight up like video game platform. Like, yes, like Zelda, maybe there's rocks that are hiding caves that you can go into and find stuff. And until you progress far enough to get bombs to blow the rocks up, like there's some stuff that you can infect the environment, but not so much like Terraria. But yes, beating levels or bosses could offer, I'm thinking, better loot. There'll be non-player characters and fetch quests that allow you to find, you'll find the boomerang, you know, or whatever. Or a boss has not the boomerang, but the boss has a better chance of dropping better loot. I want you to be able to play through it multiple times, similar to your Diablo games. When you start this, you should be able to start at the beginning and try to through hike, but you're going to be limited to the areas and the things that you can access as you go through it the first time. Go through it the first time, and you're going to be able to make it to the end. But let's say you have, let's do this. Let me go file, new. Just to get an idea, this is where my brain is at. Let's say this is a board. Now, the Appalachian Trail is marked by white blazes, and you need to follow the white blazes and you'll follow the trail. But there's a lot of blue blazes that take you to different places. And then there's other places that you can go. There's scenic overlook, stuff like that. So I want to design the boards with a white blaze trail. That would do this. Okay. What happened there? It doesn't matter what it does. There, I don't know how it didn't do that. So let's say this is the board. You've got, you walk forward, you've got some platforming, you go down on some platforming, you go here. There'll be trees in the background with white blazes on them and stuff. And this, at bare minimum, the character at the beginning of the game should be able to make it through to here. But let's say there is a cave right here. This cave could have some great loot in it, but that cave has got a boulder in it, and you're not going to be able to get rid of that boulder until you beat another level. So when you play through the first time, there's a boulder there and you can't move it. Also, on top of this, there's a secondary trail that is for a scenic overlook, and those will be yellow blazes. So now you've got here, there'll be a sign here that says scenic overlook, and that trail will come up over here and platform up to here, and there'll be a special item up there. But in order to get up here to the scenic overlook, you're going to have to be able to jump higher than you can standardly. So at the beginning of the game, you can only jump 1 block high. But as you play through the game and you get better boots that increase your jump height, you'll be able to make, like, you can take this trail, but when you get to here, there's a jump that you can't make. So you'll want to go back through the game and play this section after you get better loot. Now, maybe this scenic overlook goes so high that it's snowing and it's cold, and your gear, you can't climb up there because you're not going to be You're not going to have gear. You're going to get too cold. Or, so essentially every level will have a ton of different things that you can do, but the main thing that you can do that just follows the white blaze is going to be the bare minimum. 30 years as a homebrew DM right now. Want a writer? At this point, I'm not. We could chat about it, Lemon. I have no plans. Is this game done yet? I've been waiting for 5 minutes. If the magic lets you not carry gear, that would also be a permanent buff. You'd have to balance things, obviously. How do you expect to make a game with no story? For me, the basis of the game starts well before the story of the game. Well, no, actually, let me rephrase. I do have a story for the game. Because it's a fantasy version of the trail, the game starts out and you're doing what I did when I was a kid. I watched a documentary on the Appalachian Trail, and then I always wanted to do it, and I eventually hiked the trail. So the game starts, you're watching an AT documentary, and you fall asleep, and everything happens in a dream world. This is you dreaming of hiking the trail. That is the basis behind it. And I don't know if there needs to really be much more than that. The rest of the story and the side quests will be based off of actual things that happen on the trail. So for example, there is a person that everyone calls Fresh Grounds. Fresh Grounds is a trail angel that shows up on the AT at parking lots and brews people fresh coffee. This is an actual person. I want to work Fresh Grounds into the game. There is a trail angel called Miss Janet. She's one of the most well-known trail angels she shuttles people. She'll come pick you up. Miss Janet will be in this game. A lot of the story of the game is going to be based in things and places and people that are actually on the AT. Lemon, I don't think I'm going to need help with the story. I'm not looking for somebody to help me with that part of it because unless you're very familiar with the trail, this could have shades of Yukon Trail. So I think, Cards Fan, I was thinking so much on but I am cheap. Well, you're 10 months early to this guy. There's so much stuff to do. I'm not looking for a story writer for the game. So Cards Fan, I was thinking about, we were playing the Oregon Trail. I don't think I think the action platformer is what I want to do. The Nardo, if you like that, go here. Let me find it quick. Oops. That is Nardo. That is my YouTube channel that has my wife and I's through hike on it, and there's a lot of other stories and things that were. I've got a business based around the AT. I did a video series for a while called Trail Tales where people got on there and told me stories and I recorded them and stuff. There's a lot of stuff on that YouTube channel if you're into through hiking stuff. I can see little notes left that are facts about the trail. You could do all sorts of fun things like that. I would code this in Scratch because I am a giant child. Code this in Scratch? I don't know what that means. Start small, start basic, simple platformer. Exactly. And Swan Song. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I have some grandiose ideas, but what is this? Installer for Game Maker. Sure. I'm gonna bring in Game Maker 2 while that's installing. We'll talk. But right now, functionality. We need to take this guy. Boop. This little hiker guy, we need to get him on a screen and we need to get him moving around and jumping. And then we need to build in some platformers or some platforms so that he can move around and jump. I've got months of, it needs to feel good. Good. Uh-huh. Sure. Hopefully this doesn't want to overwrite what I have. Okay. Yeah, because it's Game Maker 2. So, J Games, an easy way that I can do that is on the AT at trailheads and in shelters and a lot of places along the way, there are trail logs. They're books, trail journals. You get to a shelter, you open up the log book and you see who was there the day before, who was there. There could be log books in every shelter. And you pick them up and they just got random stories in them. That'd be hilarious. It'd be fun. Yeah, Nardo, you'll really enjoy that, I think. Scratch is too basic for what you're trying to do. Game Maker, I believe, is because I've got years of experience with it, is where I'm going to start. I will be the most effective there. Yes, it's very similar to Metroidvania, very similar. But with and I don't need a label for it. I don't need to be like that. This is what this is, and it is this thing. What's up, Ada? All of my overlay and stuff is built in Game Maker. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going with Game Maker 2 as opposed to 1.4 because I don't think that I can. I'd want this to be able to export to. Sure. I want this to be able to export to like iOS and stuff like that, which I don't think they support with the original Game Maker anymore. So if I build it in Game Maker 1.4, I may be limited to just making an executable for a PC, and I don't want to tie my hands at the beginning. Oh, I don't even know, but there's templates and shit now. I don't want that. I don't want tutorials. I don't want. Oh, no, I don't want these. Blank game. Yes. Oh, this doesn't look anything like I want it to look. There's going to be so much learning involved. Oh, gross. But it helps to know what you are drawing inspiration from so you can take the best parts of them. Hey, what's going on? Guilty of being right. Yeah, and I've got a good idea of what I want to do. So this is a workspace. This is all new to me. Room order, tags, game options. This is quick access. Animation curves. Maybe I don't want to build it in this. All right, sprites. Create a sprite. Oh, here it is. Create sprite. Oh, it's so different. If I'm going to do this, why don't I go to Unity? This is a good question to see. So you're wearing your ugly hat today. It's just a hat. It's just a black cap. I was out in the cold this morning and I'm still chilled. Need to be a part of the adventure. Well, Lionheart, cool. I'm glad that you're excited. What's up, dead guy? So, let's see how easy it is. Let's just look in this a little bit. SPR. So the sprite name is and that's not what we want. Hiker walk. So it's like there's so much going on here that I don't like. Hiker walk. Import. Importing sprites to your sprite is not an... Huh? Okay. I like this so far. Okay, so this is the editor. It makes you look handsome. Any damn hat. It's hard to see my beard because my shirt. So current frames. All right, I think I actually need to see if Game Maker 1.4 will allow me to export. Because the problem with this is I'm going to spend so much time having to learn this software. Combined with the beard. Exactly. The beard just is a plus 2 to legendary status. Been more than a year, 13 months. That is a
Good
baker's
morning,
year.
Slack
Good
and
job.
Been more than a year here.
Frames per second. So import I got. Current frame. Oh, this is weird. There's got to be a way of... it's just too much. Game Maker is fine for 2D games. So, Swan Song, I think it would be fine for a 2D game, and I think I'm good with that. My worry is I think eventually I'd like to put it on a phone. And I don't know what my export options are for Game Maker 1.4. But making the jump to Game Maker 2 as opposed to Game Maker 1.4 is incredibly weird. Oh, tile. Or... maybe that's not... so, edit... oh, edit the image? Is this what I want here? So, I mean, I can get into all of this, or I work in the old Game Maker, which is just so much easier for me to work in. We'll have better guides and forum stuff for when I get stuck. J-Games, that's a good point. One of the things for me, I will get stuck a lot less in Game Maker 1.4. I've been using it for 20 years. That's not even a joke. I think I was 15 when I first started using Game Maker. 15. So I've been working within Game Maker for 20 plus years, on and off, obviously. I'm going to get stuck. I'm going to work my way through the process much easier in Game Maker 1.4. And I don't think it's incredibly limited either. I think it would probably do everything that we want. Evil Jim, I'm worried if I go to import, probably break some stuff. But in Game Maker 2, it's like all I'm doing is I'm having a problem with now what if I imported a GIF instead? So what I need to do is I need to go here and I need to say I just need to watch this 3-minute tutorial. Game Maker 2 has a ton of tutorials.
A truck that speaks for itself.
Love this truck. It's got everything I want. And it's America's most awarded.
We're going to make an animation.
Okay, so they're saying image, import, strip image. This is what I wanted right here. It was not in the spot that I would imagine it is, but this is what I want. So number of frames is 8 per row, 32 by 32, vertical cell offset. Boom, we got it. Convert. Will replace the existing sprite frames. Do you wish to proceed? Done. There it is. Now I need to exit the, go to the and boom. So maybe Game Maker 2 is the way to go. I just need to be ready to have to watch some videos and such. Is familiar to you? Well, like I said, so this is the interface that they use now in Game Maker 2. Game Maker 2 had a big change. This is very not familiar to me, but I think that I can make the adjustment. I'm just going to have to realize that it's going to be a lot more looking up tutorials and stuff, but the support that you'll have in Game Maker 2 is going to be a lot greater than the support that you'll have in Game Maker 1. But if I have to go through this, I need to weigh out the options. Does it make sense to go Unity? Because I think that there's enough that I'm going to have to learn to do this in Game Maker 2. And that'll be easier. So, J Games, you're thinking that sticking with Game Maker should still be easier. And that's the thing. I don't think Unity would add anything. I guess the benefit would be in potentially help, I guess. If other people wanted to help with a project, and I don't even think I'm not saying that I'm looking for help. The walking animations need to be tied together to make it playable. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is probably all the time I have today anyways. Look, we have a guy that walks. And you could do, didn't it say you could adjust frame rate? So, well, hold on. Let me get we've got this. How do I close this? You just close it. There he is. What is this? This is Inspector. What if I go to Objects? Sprites, Objects. Create object. Oh, what is this? So this is, let's go the object player. Okay, so this is more familiar to me. The object player, we can give it a sprite. Now the player has a sprite. This is the events. We can add an event. Let's say a creation event. Select GML code. I want code. Okay, all right. I don't mind this. And this is the code for the creation event. We can say, oops. Let's just see if this works. Image speed. Now, okay, image speed equals 0 on the creation event. So he's not going to move. How do I close all of this? I can just close this guy. And that goes away. We need a room. Create room. Oh, I guess it already has one room in it. Let's do this. This is just a test. In the test room, we want to drop an object. How do I drop? This is test. Instance creation order. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, song. Game Maker is actually, there's some really extensive tutorials on YouTube for Game Maker as well. Less for 1.4, more for 2. I'm thinking like an animator, which is crucial when designing games. Walking image needs to be tied together to make it playable. So, to be clear, I have created video games before. So I am not new to the concept of animating sprites and characters. If you'd like to see a game that I worked on, this is should be able to find the trailer here. So similar to this, damageless game design. Oh, there will be damage. Here's a link to a trailer for Solo Joe 2, which is a rock climbing video game that my brother and I built using Game Maker. I'm drinking a Coors Light tall can. Oh, enjoy. Enjoy. Viewpoints, cameras, room settings. Oh. So I just haven't figured out how to add objects to the room. Oh, you just literally grab the object and drop it in here. Just want to see something. Hey, look, there's the guy over there. And he's not moving. So let's go back to the room. Views. Enable viewpoints. Let's move the guy to here. Viewpoint 1, make it visible. Can I grab? Poop. Camera properties, viewpoint properties. Following objects. Player. All right, so we have this now, but I don't have a. I want it to be bigger. I want the window to be bigger. So, room physics. All right, we're not going to do physics. That's probably in Windows or something. So let's make him walk back and forth. I wish I could, hold on a second. Where's the settings? This isn't what I want. Like, why can't I resize this? So rooms, script shaders, sound, tiles, timeline, object notes. Let's say it's definitely in test room. So this is the test room. That's the background. These are the instances on this layer. I got how the layers and the instances work. Oh, that's cool. I like that. So there's different layers, which is different than it was before. The creation code, room settings. So width of the full room, viewpoints and cameras, enable viewpoints. We're using this one, it's visible, camera properties. Well, what if I said, so now we're huge sized, but the view is small. We want the view to be that big, but we want the camera to be that big. Aha! We did it. So there's our little guy right there. Good. I like it. You look nice. You look nice. Now, when we hold the right button, he needs to animate. I'll probably use WASD for now. It'll be easier to test than the up, down, left, right buttons. So let's use WASD. We'll go to not the sprite. We want to go to the player. We're going to add an event for a key press event. I would rather do a step event. That's always, don't ask me for this project. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I want code. Handsome little fella. So let's just say, is it key press? Keyboard key, keyboard check direct. If keyboard check pressed key. For now. And then the key is going to be, I think it's VK underscore D. Is it a capital D? Number pads, rights. So it's not virtual keyboard. Can I just do key press D? But see, this is different. This is kind of the shitty part. So we've got the online help menu here. Keyboard input, VKN, all of these things. But I want, okay. Oh. Would it be like that? It really doesn't like this. What if it's just C here? To the key to check to be pressed. Okay. Well, that's going to be, I've got a thing to go to today, so I knew I wasn't going to have much time to go over this today. Oops. I just wanted to sit down. These little streams are going to be sporadic. Kuza, how are we doing? Why is this all just YouTube chat? Oh, I guess there was no other ones. Yeah, ponies, not a long story. Like we were just here for a little bit. We're just talking about this the hiking game that I've always wanted to make and how I could start to work on it a little bit. There's my wife right there. Hello, honey. I'll be right in. Bye. Oh, a Matt D stream. Oh, I guess. So this is the start. We've ended day one of building a video game, which is going to be very sporadic. You never know when I'm going to work on things and when. Oh, this isn't going to work anyways because of that. A short stream and you don't see Matt D. Oh, that's funny. Did this not run? Oh, yeah. Malform statement. There is, ladies and gentlemen, hiker dude guy, face head. There's our little hiker, and that's all we did. Fun. All right, that's it. Does anybody want to raid anybody? First person to pick a raid target. These are going to be pop-ups. We are still going to do retro mornings, Monday morning through Friday. Nothing is changing except for if I get some spare time. If I sit down, and I'm going to be sitting down to work on this game for any more than an hour, I am going to try to go live with these little things. All right, we're going to raid Alucard 2004 from Fluffy Ponies. Jaggy Man, you hit the end of the little programming stream. I'm going to do like I said, these are just going to be periodic little streams. If I have time tonight, I may get back tonight. My wife puts the kids to sleep and I'm going to sit down and work on this for an hour. If I sit down and work on it for little bits at a time, and maybe I shouldn't do it on the stream because the timing will be bad, or maybe I need to do it on a different channel. I don't know. But for now, this is what we're going to do. All right. Thank you for joining me. And step one in building a video game, we have a character. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.